Do you want to communicate in a way that is high value so people want to listen to you? How about speaking in a way that captivates women so they're hooked on your every word? Or do you want to easily hold the attention of a crowd? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you 5 communication skills that are just going to make you more fucking cool. Let's get into it. Step 1 is speak loud, slow, and be relaxed. When we're communicating with others, the way that we speak is always implying something. And if we're speaking in a way that is slow, that is loud, and relaxed, this implies to others that we are confident, we're very comfortable in that environment, and it makes people want to listen to us. It also comes across to women very attractive. Now, on the flip side, if I speak in a way that is very fast, trying to get the words out of my mouth as quickly as possible, if I'm speaking quietly, it implies that I'm uncomfortable in the environment, that I'm not used to people listening to me, and this comes across as me lacking confidence, that I'm shy, and people aren't going to respect me. So it's important to make sure we speak loudly, slowly, and in a relaxed manner. Step 2 is conversational voids. These are natural moments in conversation where no one is talking. They're just moments of silence in conversation. For example, there might be a conversational void after, say, you ask her a question and she answers, and before you respond to her, there's a moment of silence before you give a response. Now, people who are really anxious or really worried about keeping the conversation going because they're really attached to the outcome of the conversation, they fill these conversational voids instantly as they come up. They might even cut the girl off before she finishes what she's saying. For example, let's say you ask her, what do you do for work? And she says, I'm an architect. Instantly, they're like, oh, I love that. That's really cool. I love architecture. Yeah, what made you get into that? See how you just jump straight into it? Instead, take your time. Make sure you're listening to what she has to say. Don't just be thinking the whole time she's speaking, what do I say next? What do I say next? What do I say next to get this person to like me? Sit back and listen to her. So leaving a conversational void, getting comfortable with a conversational void would look something more like this. So you ask her, what do you do for work? And she says, I'm an architect. And then you say, interesting. What made you get into that? See how I don't just dive in instantly to continue the conversation. When we instantly try to fill these natural conversational voids, it implies to the person that we're talking to that we are far more attached to the outcome of this conversation than they are. This implies that we're putting her on a pedestal and is really unattractive. So get comfortable with conversational voids, make sure you listen to her, allow her to finish what she is saying before you respond. Step 3 is holding strong eye contact. Now, this one might seem simple. However, for most guys, they are not holding enough of it. It's important to make sure that we hold enough eye contact because this is how we connect with another human. When you stare into the pupil of another person, this is you staring directly into their soul. Now, a lot of guys aren't aware of the fact that they break eye contact a lot, and myself, I wasn't either until I finally filmed myself when I started really working on improving this part of my life. And I noticed that when I'd start a conversation with a person in the day, say I met her at the beach or at the mall or on the street, wherever it might be, I'd start a conversation with her, I'd be holding eye contact when I started the conversation. However, straight after introducing myself, I'd start looking around, almost like I was checking the environment for danger. And this is an unconscious defense mechanism that I had because deep down, I was still quite uncomfortable holding eye contact. So this is something, if it's not a natural behavior for you, you need to start practicing holding it. And I mean, at times you might even feel uncomfortable how much eye contact you hold, but you should be trying to hold eye contact at least 80 to 90% of the time you're speaking to someone. That is how much you should be holding it. Step number 4 is don't be afraid to challenge. See, when we're connecting with a woman, whether it's on a date or maybe through cold approach, the most important thing we can be doing is assessing her for whether she meets our standards. Yes, we are assessing her. Now, during the conversation, there's going to be potential moments that come up. Maybe she says something that implies a red flag, or you just sit there and you go, I'm not really sure about that. And it's these exact moments where it's important that you challenge her to allow her to then justify or qualify herself so you can assess whether she still meets your standards. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you're talking to a girl and you ask her a simple question. What do you do for work? And she answers with, I'm an architect. And then you ask her, why'd you get into that? And she said, well, I don't know. I kind of just fell into it and it pays the bills. So, it's fine. And you go, well, I don't really align with that. I prefer girls who have ambition and drive in life and are going for what they want. So I'm going to challenge her on that. It'll look something like this. Well, Okay, so you chose to study something for 4 years and now you're going to potentially do it for the rest of your life just to pay the bills, and you don't even like it. You're going to spend all those hours, so much of your life, doing something you're not really passionate about. Why? And this then allows her to justify herself and qualify herself so you can assess whether she does have those qualities that you're looking for. That is a basic example of a challenge. Now, the reason why it's so important to challenge is because most men, when they're on dates, all they do is build rapport. All they're doing is just trying to get the girl to like her, and everything she says they just think is fucking perfect. They're never actually assessing her for whether they even fucking like her. They just assume she's fucking amazing. And what does this imply? They don't have standards. And this is why it's so important to make sure you challenge. It implies to her that you are a man with standards and you know exactly what you want. And this is incredibly attractive. She's going to respect you so much more. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to challenge, lucky for you, we've made an entire 20-minute video on exactly how to do it in the YouTube channel already. So I'm going to link it right here. Click it if you want to watch that. Number 5 is a downward intonation. This is where your intonation is going down when you finish your sentences. Let me give you an example. So as you can see, as I'm finishing my sentences, the intonation of my tonality is going down. You can see that this implies that I am confident and comfortable in what I'm saying. It shows conviction when you speak. Now I'm going to show you the opposite of a downward intonation, so an upward intonation, so you can understand why an upward intonation makes it seem like you lack confidence. Let me show you. Do you see how when I'm saying things with an upward intonation, at the end of what I'm saying, it makes it seem like everything I'm saying is a question? So then it makes it sound like I'm unsure about everything I'm saying. Do you see how that sounds? And a lot of people have this upward intonation when they finish their sentences because they truly are unsure about what they're saying. So if you want to start speaking with more conviction, then make sure you have a downward intonation at the end of what you're saying. So guys, those are the 5 skills you can use in order to communicate in a more attractive way and be more fucking cool, so people want to listen to you and you can start attracting more beautiful women. Thanks for watching, brother. Now, if you like this style of dating and self-development content, then lucky for you, we have an entire free Facebook group where we post a ton of content there that we're not allowed to post on YouTube. So if you want to get access to all of our deep dives and all these tips in order to start improving your dating life, then make sure to click the link in the description below, join the private Facebook group. It's free. Enjoy. I do it because I love you. I'll see you in the next video.